مساء الخير جميعا، يعطيكم ألف عافية. أول إشي بحب اسمي، بعرفش إذا بتحبي تحكي أنت ولا أكمل أنا؟
منذر
أوكي.
تفضل منذر.
آه أول إشي بحب أرحب فيكم بالسيشن اليوم مع البي ام اي جوردن شابتر. نحن بالجوردن شابتر طلعنا بفكرة انيشيتيف هاي المرة إنه نعمل ويبينار بشكل مونثلي. تقريبا من أول ما استلمنا هذا البورد نحن بلشنا هاي الانيشيتيف بشهر 8. والحمد لله نحن اليوم عم نحكي عن هاي الويبينار رقم 8 اللي عم نعقدها خلال فترة آخر 8 أشهر. فعندنا كل شهر آخر ثلاثاء أو آخر ثلاثاء، يعني يا آخر ثلاثاء يا الثلاثاء الثالث من كل شهر دائما في عندنا ويبينار بالبي ام اي جوردن شابتر. هاي الويبينارز عادة بتعالج مواضيع ممكن يكون مهتمين فيها اللي هم الممبرز الموجودين عندنا بالجوردن شابتر. عادة بتكون لها علاقة ب their own works. عملنا نحن اشي عن البيرسونال براندنج، عملنا واحدة عن السبلاي تشين، حكينا عن البروكيورمنت، حكينا عن الريسك، حكينا عن الكواليتي، حكينا المرة الماضية السيشن اللي كانت قبل هاي عن الاستراتيجي. واليوم معنا الست سيما. هي اليوم راح نحكي عن موضوع الاي تي بي. كثير ناس ريتش اس بالبي ام اي جوردن شابتر بيحكوا لنا شو يعني اي تي بي، كيف نحن ممكن نصير اي تي بي كمراكز كاشخاص، حتى نقدر انه نحن نكون ترينرز موجودين بالبي ام اي جوردن شابتر. او حتى يعني بالاخر انت بالاخر لما تكون اي تي بي فانت مش بس بالجوردن، انت ممكن تكون على مستوى الشرق الاوسط Authorized Trainer Partner للبي ام اي انستيتيوت. بس انا بدي احكي كمان شغله سريعه. نحن اليوم مش بس هاي الانيشيتيف موجوده عندنا كبي ام اي جوردن شابتر، هاي واحده من الانيشيتيف. الكل بيعرف غاده اشتغلت بموضوع البي ام توكس، وعندنا بشكل شهري او كل شهرين راح يكون في عندنا بي ام توك اللي هي نحن نسمع منكم، تكون موضوع اوبن تو ديسكشن. المره الماضيه كان عن النكست جنريشن. في كمان فيزيكال ميتينجز بتصير للممبرز كل شهر او كل شهرين. مره بيكون موجود في عندنا فيزيكال ميتنج حتى انه نشوفكم وتشوفونا. بالاضافه راح يكون في بيرس بروفيشنال ديفلوبمنت دي، بنعمل 3 أو 4 اون ييرلي بيسز. هدول بيكونوا فول داي للبي ام اي. ناس بنحب انكم دائما نشوفكم دائما موجودين معنا الممبرز. انا سريعا بس بدي اعرفكم الموجودين معنا. معنا الست ديانا عامي، هي البريزيدنت للبي ام اي جوردن شابتر. معنا غادة خطارنا، هي مسؤولة الماركتينج للجوردن شابتر. أنا منذر وهبي اللي ماسك الممبرشيب والويبينارز. في كمان تو انيشيتيف بس عشان قبل ما أنسى فيهم. في عندنا انيشيتيف عم نحكي عن ديفلوبمنت للأشخاص بموضوع السايبر سكيورتي لبروجكت مانجر. في تقريبا عليها 30 شخص. إن شاء الله بعد رمضان راح يكون في عندنا بروجرام بالجوردن شابتر للاي اي. اوريدي يعني في حدا راح يكون معنا متخصص بمجال الاي اي، هو از بروجكت مانجر. حيعطي سيشنات يعني 2 or 3 سيشن هاو تو ديفلوب يور سكيلز يوزنج الاي اي. واتوقع هاي من الشغلات اللي نحن التولز اليوم كمدراء مشاريع، يعني شات جي بي تي صار اور بيست فريند. قد ما نحن بنستخدم، انا يعني شخصيا بستخدمه اون ديلي بيسز. يعني خلص صرت مربي الشات جي بي تي تبعي. ما بدي اطول عليكم اكثر من هيك.
يس، شكرا منذر على المقدمة. بس حابة أضيف على شكرا منذر على المقدمة. بس حابة أضيف على اللي ذكره زميلي منذر. يعطيكم العافية جميعا. غادة قطارنا PMI جو board member and VP marketing communication social media. هذا السيشن نحن عملناه بالتنسيق مع PMI MENA. حبينا تكون معانا سيما، هي الهيد اوف بارتنرشيبس بال PMI MENA، عشان تحكي لنا عن ال ATPs ال Authorized Training Partners. كل ما يخص الموضوع بكافة الحيثيات. هي رح يكون في عندها presentation شامل لهذا التوبيك. بليز إنه خلال ما هي عم تعمل العرض التقديمي، إنه أي حدا عنده أسئلة يسجلها بآخر السيشن. رح يكون في عنا ربع ساعة 10 دقايق رح تكون مفتوحة للأسئلة. وإن شاء الله إنه كلياتنا نستفيد وناخد كل المعلومات اللازمة بخصوص هذا التوبيك اللي جدا مهم لأي حدا حابب إنه يكون بموضوع التريننج طبعا اللي المتعلق بشهادات البي ام اي، واللي هي هلأ طبعا من الشهادات العالمية المعروفة والمطلوبة بالأردن وبالخليج. فأي حدا عنده انترست إنه هو يصير ترينر أو يعرف شو البروسيس سواء organization أو individual، سيما رح تعرفنا على كل المعلومات. بحب كمان إنه ست ديالا العلمي رئيسة الجمعية معانا اليوم. تحبي تحكي إشي ديالا؟
لا شكرا. بنرحب بالجميع، وفي كمان بورد ممبرز تانيين معانا اليوم. في الأخت نادية برجك اللي مسؤولة عن الأوتريتش، وفي معانا الأخ عمر ناصر كمان معانا اللي هو admin and بيساعدنا في السيت اب بتاع a lot of stuff. وبتوقع هلا هدول البورد ممبرز اللي انا شايفاهم اونلاين.
مساء الخير جميعا،
وشكرا كثير
يعطيكم
على الميل.
العافية.
هلا
مساء
أهلا،
الخير
يعطيك العافية
جميعا،
نادية.
يعطيكم ألف عافية. شكرا
هلا.
سيم، شكرا غادة ومنذر على
هلا.
هالopportunity. Thank you everyone.
أهلا وسهلا، بدنا نطول عليكم.
looking forward لسيما's presentation. وشكرا كثير.
بس
سيما.
أعطيكم هيك نبذة عن الست سيما. سيما هي حاليا مثل ما حكت غادة ماسكة اللي هي الهيد اوف بارتنرشيب بالبي ام اي مينا. قبل هيك عندها اكسبيرينس اكثر من 11 سنة بمجال إدارة المشاريع والاستراتيجي وهذه المواضيع، وهي مخلصة معها ماجستير بالتكنولوجي انفورميشن تكنولوجي مانجمنت، وكانت برضو معها من هالت اكسكيوتيف ام بي اي. فبتمنى انكم تستمتعوا عادي، يعني مثل ما حكيت لكم غاده ممكن تهلكوها باخر 10 دقائق اسئله لها سيما، فهي بتحب تسمع اسئلتكم. ونحن ان شاء الله معكم بالسيشن. وسيما معك، المايك معك. المحاضره لسه مسجله وراح تنزل على صفحتنا على الويب سايت على اليوتيوب تبع البي ام اي جوردن شابتر.
شكرا منذر. سيما the floor is yours.
شكرا
تفضلي سيما.
غادة. Thank you ديالا وكل الجوردن chapter for organizing هذا الويبينار و giving me the opportunity. برحب فيكم جميعا بالعربي، وبعدين we're gonna flip بالإنجليزي لنعمل البرزنتيشن. بس زي ما غادة قالت بالQ&A إذا في عندكم any comments أو questions بس اكتبوها أو اكتبوها بالchat، وبعدين we'll address it بالQ&A. again welcome. وعن جد thank you for your time today to talk about the PMI Authorized Training Partner Program. اسمي سيما قفعيتي. I'm the head of partnerships بالProject Management Institute. عندي 14 years of experience in managing partner relationships to grow the business for international companies. زي ما البايو قال بالinvitation، I'm an engineer by qualification، درست electrical engineering followed by masters in IT management. And I was focused for a lot of my career in looking after partners who are reselling software for information technology companies. وريسنتلي خلصت الإكزيكتيف MBA من Health International Business School here بدبي، وأنا عايشة بدبي right now. So this is next slide. So let me also introduce PMI. If anybody is not familiar with PMI is the leading authority in project management with over 50 years of experience in elevating project management as a strategic competency to deliver impactful outcomes for organizations and professionals globally. So PMI عندها standards و gold standard certifications positioned to increase the employability of the project management community وكل project managers. When we look at PMI's mission, the mission is to maximize project success to elevate our world. So how are we going to educate the project professionals عشان يستعملوا هذا knowledge to impact their projects and elevate the project success and project value? When we look at PMI holistically, we'll see multiple players or stakeholders with PMI. So what makes what we call a PMI flywheel. So this is the bigger picture for all of the players in PMI. We'll see here we have our chapters, like the Jordan chapter. In many countries we have chapters, and one of the units of the flywheel is the authorized training partners. It's what we're going to be discussing today. So this is what we'll cover in around 1 hour مع بعض. I'd like to ensure عندكم كل information to take the next step wherever you are in the journey to become a partner with PMI. So this is the agenda. We're going to talk about what is the program, who are the current ATPs in Jordan, why would you become a PMI partner, how can you become a PMI partner, what are the next steps. I believe on the call عندنا 3 types of audience. So you're going to maybe fit in one of the categories. So we have either organizations that are currently trained in project management or related topics. So you might be curious or interested in becoming an authorized training partner with PMI. We could have instructors or aspiring instructors on the call who want to understand the program and how to be more involved. And we have some of our existing partners, perhaps, who want to ensure that they're maximizing the usage of the program benefits. So we have a lot of benefits in the program, and when we have partners, they also want to ensure that they are using all of the benefits of the program that they are already a part of. Now let's look at the program. Of course, ATP stands for Authorized Training Partner. It's a global program for PMI. So it's the global framework that we use to onboard our partners and create our partner network. And there's many different types of organizations that join the program. And here I've written the 4 main types. We have academic institutions. So we have universities and business schools that join us to become authorized training partners. That is mostly the part of the business school or university that is in continuing education. So they have continuing education departments. We have training companies, so small to medium enterprises, sometimes they are larger, that this is their main business model. So they train with several vendors. They could train in project management, in technology, in leadership, and many other types of training in their portfolio. And then we have enterprise authorized training partners. The enterprise are the ones who are large enterprises that have academies, that have learning and development departments, and they want to become partners to do in-house training for their employees, and so that they can enrich all of their L&D programs, their senior executive programs, their youth development programs, etc. We also have government entities or government-owned entities. We have associations, we have ministries that also become ATPs to cater to add value and train their own employees or staff, and also, if they can, the market. Okay, before we move on to see who is the ATP, just an overview of what the program is. It is a subscription, membership-based program for organizations. So ATP is only for organizations. Like I showed you, these are the 4 main categories that join us into the ATP program. So it is a B2B model. And it has an annual fee once you apply and get approved. And we'll look at how the application works and the next steps after approval as well. And then it gives you access to benefits that come with that subscription. So it's like an annual subscription, and you get access to many benefits from PMI. So here I'd like to give an analogy. Please keep Q&As until the end. Nasser, just write it down and we'll address the questions after. So I just want to give an analogy that you may like, and that when I think of the program.
Just Sima, quickly, there's
yes.
a question. You're not changing slides. You're still on the same slide,
yes,
right?
I want to stay on the slide for a bit, because the next slide will introduce who are the ATPs. I just want to give an analogy of the program.
Thank you.
So I like to explain it like a gym membership. You know, when we want to exercise, we explore, do we want to do it on our own, or do we want to get a gym membership? And when we pay for the gym membership, we're paying for access to benefits, and the gym can have the machines, the classes, and all of other facilities. So when we pay for that membership, our intention is that it will help us to do better, to do things faster, to get to what we want to accomplish faster. So it's the same with training organizations. They have their business and they are running it, but then when they get this membership, they get benefits to accelerate what they want to do. And each business has its different priorities, and they join the program for different reasons. And just like a gym membership, if you buy it and then you don't engage and you don't make the effort to use it, it sort of goes away and it gets wasted. So you also get out what you put in to the membership that you have purchased. Also, when you are at the gym, you shouldn't compare yourself to others, because you are there for your own reasons and your own priorities. And then everybody is, some people are there to go to classes, some people are there to use the machine, some people are there to, use the swimming pool. So it's the same with the program. There are a wealth of benefits, and there might be partners that are coming in to use a certain benefit more than other benefits, and they are there for different reasons. They have different characteristics, different strengths, different priorities, and they maybe address different industries, different geographical locations. So all our partners can even work together to go to the market. All right. Let's go to the next slide, where we look at who are the ATPs in Jordan. So we have our 7 ATPs in Jordan, and this is public information. If you go on Google and you search ATP directory, it should be the first link, and you can filter by country. So globally, you can filter any country. If you filter to Jordan, you will see our 7 ATPs in Jordan. And it doesn't mean that they don't do business elsewhere. So when we, in our directory, it is about where the headquarters of the organization is. So when we filter to Jordan, it means these are the companies that are headquartered in Jordan and do business out of Jordan. They could also cover other geographical locations, and we could have other partners who also do business in Jordan, but they are headquartered in a different country. All right, and what's also nice here is that we'll talk about something called specialty courses. We have 4 specialty courses under the ATP program. We have the PMP, we have the CAPM, the ACP, Agile Certified Practitioner, and the PMICP, the Construction Professional. And these are all of the courses that the ATPs need to have authorized trainers for. So when we look at our 7 partners, 5 out of 7 are already authorized and ready to train in ACP. 3 are already ready and authorized to train in Construction Professional, and 4 have the authorization to train CAPM. So we have a wealth of knowledge under our existing ATP network. And you should feel proud to want to also join this list of ATPs in Jordan. So I have the link here, but you can just Google PMI ATP directory, and you will get it right away. So why become or why should you join the program, we are going to talk about all of the benefits. The first benefit is I'm going to talk about endorsement. So once you join the ATP program, you do the application and pay the subscription fee. Then you get a badge from PMI that says you are an ATP. This badge is sort of an endorsement that you can use on the website, on your email signatures, on your specialty course listings, on your certifications that you give out to your learners. So this helps you stand out in the market, that you are working with PMI, you have access to and you are using the authorized training content for the specialty courses. And you will also be added, of course, to our directory that is on our public page. Then you have access to the turnkey content, which is the licensed material. So the specialty areas that I mentioned, there are the 4, the CAPM, the PMP, the ACP, and the PMICP, and this portfolio is growing. So we are working on also creating the training material for more courses in the PMI portfolio. It comes with the instructor material. There is instructor material for these courses, and there is also the student material. So turnkey content means once the instructor is ready and authorized to deliver the course, they don't have to create the material. They purchase the material from PMI, they purchase the instructor material, they purchase the student material for the students, and then they just have to follow the curriculum to deliver the course for their students. So it already exists for these 4 specialty courses. And then we have the certified instructors. Once an organization becomes an ATP, they add their instructors to their profile and they guide them in the roadmap to become authorized instructor. We have something called Train the Trainer. So the instructors, of course, they have to have certain requirements, and then they do the Train the Trainer, and then they get their badges as authorized instructors for the specialty course. The next benefits are partnering with our chapters. It's a huge benefit. And we're lucky in Jordan to have the PMI Jordan chapter. We don't have chapters in every country. Okay, and the chapter's mission is to grow, strengthen, enrich, and highlight the profession in the community. So one of the benefits is that authorized training partners can partner with the local chapters and create a sort of win-win agreement with them. As PMI, we encourage this chapter and ATP collaboration because we believe their mission complements each other. And I could talk about this as well in one of my slides. ATPs are responsible for educating the learners, so they're responsible for the training to prepare them for these certifications. And then chapters, they mentor them and they guide them in the journey to actually help implement that knowledge in their project. So they come with mentorship, with webinars like Mundhir was talking about to support them. And also these webinars and events and the engagement opportunities, they provide the PDUs, the professional development units, so that the community members can be supported in maintaining their professional certifications as well. And this opens up more career opportunities. The next is PDU issuance. The ATPs can also issue PDUs, not only on their PMI courses, they can also add courses in their portfolio. For example, if they're doing technology courses or leadership courses, they can put the courses in what we call the education provider portal and get pre-approved PDUs. So they're also, as an ATP, supporting their learners in the journey to also maintain certifications after they have received their professional certification. And then we have the reseller program within the ATP program. So they can also take part in reseller potential. Reseller means they get products at a discounted price from PMI and then resell it to the market. So the ATPs get a margin and it becomes a return on investment for them. And they also give a discount to the public versus the PMI price. So it is better for the learner to go through an ATP and get the reseller price than to come directly to PMI. I have to go a little bit faster, I believe. But we'll go to co-marketing opportunity. When you're part of the partner network, then you can approach PMI and ask for a co-marketing opportunity. Let's say you are doing a webinar, a seminar, a roundtable, or an event, or you're hosting an event and you want PMI to be involved. So you come and you say, I have this event and it makes sense for PMI to be part of it in this way. Either from a speaker, a keynote, a panel, so we can go to market together in that way. You have a marketing repository, plenty of resources that you can use to, like banners for social media, flyers for your events, logos for your website that you can use to go to market for your courses. And lastly, we have the RFP process. The RFP process is only for premier partners, and it is basically when clients come to PMI to request training, they put their needs, they put all of the training dates, their budget, and then we used to do this globally. So it goes to all premier partners globally, but we are trying to localize this process. So when we get a request for training locally in Middle East and North Africa, then it will go to our local network of partners. So this is kind of a benefit that exists, but it also is getting enhanced. Here, there's a summary of the program benefits, and I wanted to highlight again the specialty courses that we have under the program right now, because this is where the ATPs can really add value. We have the PMP, the CAPM, the ACP, and the PMICP, okay? And this list is growing. So whenever we have new courses that are added, our ATPs get first access to get prepared to deliver the courses. So this first access is a huge competitive advantage in the market. For example, when ACP was released, we immediately gave like free training for our instructors for the ACP. So they were doing the courses, they were getting certified first, and this is a competitive advantage in the market. Similarly for PMICP, they were getting access first and getting prepared for the PMICP so that they can deliver it in the market. So let's talk about there's two levels in the program. There's basic level and premier level. Basic level gives you everything that you need to get started. So I always recommend for my partners when they want to join in at a basic level. It gives you the access. It gives you the onboarding, of course, access to all of the materials. You'll be on the directory. You'll have one train the trainer to get your first instructor started. A new thing is you also have access to the reseller program until with certain limitations. And then you can upgrade to Premier at any time in the future once you feel settled and once you feel that you are starting to use the benefits and train PMI courses. If you have a pre-existing relationship with PMI and you're already discussing, a roadmap and you have a plan, then you can potentially jump into Premier. And we have done that with some partners where we are already talking to them about exactly what we're going to do, hit the ground running. So they jump into the Premier bucket that gives them the basic plus additional benefits as well. Some of them are access to some sample test questions, expanded access to marketing materials, discount on the bookstore, so the publications of PMI, full access to the reseller program, and one additional train the trainer, and access to the RFP benefit as well. This is some deep information about the reseller program. So like I said, you have access to resell the PMI membership, some exams, and some on-demand trainings. So you get a discount as an ATP reseller on 10 of these 10 exams, and you're able to resell them at a price within a certain range, within the discounted price and the list price of PMI. And you also get access to resell the on-demand trainings from PMI. This is the current portfolio. This is more information about the PDU benefit. So you can submit your courses that are PMI courses and non-PMI courses that are aligned to PMI's talent triangle, and then get pre-approved PDUs to give to your learners. And this is more information about chapter collaboration. So chapters have certain priorities and strengths. They have the local professional community. They are the project managers on the field. They have their success stories, their failure stories, and they have large community. And then you have authorized training partners are the ones who are doing the training. They have their client base. They are, like I said, get prepared to deliver the new courses that come under the PMI portfolio. They have the reseller access to give discounts. So when they work together, it is a fruitful thing. And let's go to how to join the program. So when I would like to discuss the application, because it is sometimes the area where candidates find it difficult. So it's good to know the requirements of the application and how you can prepare for each requirement. So the first one, there's 3 items, and then the financial review. So there's 3 main documents. They're called item A, item B, item C, and then there's the financial review. So I'm going to go in some details. The first item is basically to provide a copy of the incorporation of the entity. So when you register your company with the government, you will get, of course, the registration. And this is what you will submit in item A. It's important that the name of the company in this registration is the one that is used throughout the application. So it will make the application process much smoother. If any document in the application is not, if you don't have it in English, you need to attach with it the official translation of the document. So all of the documents have to have the English translation to go through the review. So this is the articles of incorporation or the registration with your local government. Sometimes, mostly it is the Ministry of Commerce. Then item B is to prove that the organization has been providing training in the area of project management or something very similar for a minimum of 3 years. So we need any type of dated document that shows that you have been training in project management. And it has to be a document that is more than 3 years old. It could be an invoice. If there is no invoice, it could be the record of attendance of that specific training that you had more than 3 years ago. And the third item is a customer resolution document. So we need to see as PMI that when a learner comes and does a course with you, if they have any complaints, then they're able to go through a process where they, first of all, voice this complaint, and then what you will do as the training provider to address the complaint of the learner. So we need to see that you have a plan and you have a process. So this document is the one that shows your plan and your process for the customer resolution. And there's an example of the PMI grievance policy. So if you have a similar document, then that is the one that we require for this requirement. After these 3 are submitted, if everything is all of the documents pass, then first of all, if there is a gap and one of the documents is not to expectation, you will receive that in a feedback. So you will get a feedback that, okay, item A is good, item B is good, but we need a different item C, or item, 2 items are good and we need just a changes on 1 item. So we do provide that feedback. If when you pass this phase 1, I would say, then it goes into the financial review. So we ask for 3 years of audited financials for the company, and it needs to be reviewed by a third-party auditor. This is by email, so the procurement team will reach out to you saying you've passed the first phase, and then now we need your 3 years of audited financials. So you will give it to the credit department or procurement team through email. All right, so you've submitted your application. What's next? So, once you pass the financial review, then you will get your invoice and, of course, pay the first annual fee, whether you've chosen basic, whether you've chosen Premier, and then you start to get access to the platforms. And the first thing that we have is a 1-hour onboarding session to give you a lot of information. So to make sure you have access to all of the PMI platforms that you need access to, and all of the information to get you started. Of course, it's going to be like a journey where after this 1 hour of information, we have also calls after that to make sure that you have what you need. You start to add, the first thing is you'll start to add your qualifying instructors. So if you have already qualified instructors, you will add them to your profile. If you want to start to get your instructors through the roadmap of qualification, then you'll start adding these instructors and align the train the trainer to them. So you'll go through the train the trainer program and you'll get onboarded, and then you'll be ready to launch courses, and we'll be there to guide you along the way. We have some testimonials from our partners. Here we have a partner from Lebanon, a partner from Spain. We share some of these testimonials on LinkedIn of our partners that are working with us and using all of these resources and benefits to progress their business. We also have an example of our partners engaging in our global events. So here we have, for example, the PMI Global Summit that happened in 2024. We had 3 partners from the region that were part of that event as speakers. So we had a partner from Kuwait, a partner from Bahrain, and from Saudi Arabia. So once you're a partner, you have to engage. You have to see what else you can do with PMI. There's a wealth of opportunities. And don't forget to follow PMI MENA on LinkedIn so you can see what is happening in MENA from PMI. And you can see, for example, an example of partners engaging. This will motivate you to also join us. So next steps, I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows kind of the next step that they can do from here. If you own a new business, one of the requirements is that you need to already have been in business for 3 years and have been training for 3 years. So if you own a new business, I would say keep the program in mind until you are close to the 3-year requirement for joining the program, and then get in touch. But until then, join the chapter, be part of the chapter community, and also follow us on our social media channels to see what we're doing. If you are ready to apply and you would like to apply, you can begin your application anytime. It's an online application. You can contact me just to get that additional push that I have a guidance document that goes through the requirements. So item A, item B, item C, again, the financial review in detail. So that could be a push to just do it a little bit faster. If you're stuck on your application, then reach out to me as well. I'll make sure that I'll put my email in the chat in the Q&A session. If you've already submitted the application, you should also receive feedback on where the gaps are. So we can look at where the gaps are together, and maybe if you need a little bit of clarification on what was the feedback about, I can help with that. If you're interested to learn more, we could set up a call separately to discuss your specific interests and your priorities of your organization and see what would be the next step, and we can clarify and talk in more detail. If you need help to present to leadership, so a lot of times I get approached by someone who's interested, but they have to be the ones to present it to their organization, to their leadership team, and put the justification, the case study, the return on investment of the program. So they are sort of advocates. They want to be part of the program, but they have to sell it to their leadership team. So I could support also with that. We have presentations and resources, and we can do an ROI study so that you can present that to your leadership team. If you're an individual instructor, then my advice is to go to the ATP directory and see who are the ATPs that are already in the ecosystem. If you're not already aligned to a company, of course, if you're aligned to an organization, you could be part of that advocate team that presents to their leadership about the ATP program so that they can join. But if, for example, you're a freelancer, look at the ATP network that already exists and see who you could align to. ATPs have different business models when it comes to instructors. They could have full-time instructors on their list. They could have part-time instructors that work with them. So the relationship with the ATP can be completely different from an instructor perspective. If you're an existing ATP and would like to do more, so let's say one of the benefits was new to you today, we can discuss how to get that benefit, how to be more involved. And the ideas that I have is that you can grow to cover more specialty courses. So let's say you cover 3 and you want to cover the 4th. We can talk about that. We can talk about the new things that are coming into the program, like AI and project management. That is a hot topic, and the reseller program, co-marketing, and much more. Okay, and thank you so much for listening. I'm ready for Q&A if you are.
Thank you, Sima. Great presentation. I know a lot of people will be asking a lot of questions. I'm going to let Ghada take the questions in, or how would you like to do it?
We'll take them one by one.
If they can raise their hands,
Perfect.
We can go in the order
can raise
of
their
hands raised.
Okay. But I'm going to start off with the first one.
Sure,
Do you mind? Okay. You talked about the ATP as partners. What about getting trained to become a trainer? Is there any specific things that you recommend? We have a lot of people that would be potential trainers in the future.
Yes. So that's when you focus on those specialty courses. So we do, before the trainers can train even with ATPs, they need to be authorized trainers. And authorized trainers are required for the specialty courses. So PMP, CAPM, ACP, PMICP, and we'll also add more in the future. So to become a trainer in these areas, you need to, of course, have the certification. So I'd say focus on one of these and get certified, but then in parallel, start to explore who are the ATPs that you can align to, because then you can work with them. They can put you in their instructor sort of network, and you can work with them to deliver courses. Like I said, not all ATPs work on where the instructor has to be full-time instructor for them. They could be a part-time instructor, and it could be something that they do just to get, experience as an instructor and start to deliver courses with the ATP.
Yeah, thank you, Sima. Okay, we'll take the first question. Muhammad, please.
Hi, good afternoon. So actually, yeah, ahlan, ya hala. Okay, so actually I have two questions. The first one, what if I'm not an ATP yet, but I'm certified with the specialties I want to give?
Yeah.
Like how much time it could take an existent ATP to get me authorized to be giving courses? Do I have to pay any fees for them in terms of like how much do they pay to PMI so they get me as a trainer?
Great question.
إيما بنقدر ناخذ الأسئلة بالعربي؟
يا نقدر.
اوكي طيب اللي بحب يحكي بالعربي إنه تفضل سيدي.
So the question is you have a certification or you have experience. How long does it take you to become authorized? You're aligned to an ATP? That's the part one. So part one is if you have the experience and you have the certification, once an ATP adds you, you have to do the train the trainer. The train the trainer is basically a 2-day on-demand course. Our day is general. Second day it is focused on the course that you are going to train. So this is after you do the 2-day on-demand course, then you will get your instructor badge. So this is the investment in time for the train the trainer. The second thing is how much do ATPs invest in adding trainers? So this is where the basic has one train the trainer voucher. So in there, when they pay the subscription fee, they get to add one trainer and do the train the trainer for free. The Premier has 2 train the trainer vouchers. So they get to add 2 trainers and do the train the trainer for free. If they want to add on top of that for a new instructor, then they will pay $500 to get the train the trainer for them. So the answer to the question is around $500 if they've already utilized their train the trainer vouchers for other instructors. Then they will pay on top to add an instructor the $500 for the train the trainer course.
Okay, so this if you allow me, this 500, it's only for the MENA regions. In different regions.
It's a global.
It's a global. Okay.
Yeah, it's a global.
Okay, so I have read before on the PMI website that if I gonna be an ATP, like an organization, I need to pay different fees annually for the PMI.
Correct.
Like Europe different than US, different than MENA.
Correct.
Okay, so my next question gonna be if I'm planning to give students online courses outside the MENA region and inside the MENA region, shall I pay for like the 2 subscriptions?
No. So that's where the headquarter, it's where you're headquartered. So for example, our 7 ATPs right now in Jordan that I showed, they're headquartered in Jordan. So where they are registered, where they're invoiced by PMI, for example, it is through their entity in Jordan. But when it comes to doing business, they can do business globally. It's a global program. So wherever they have reach, they can do business. ما في geographical boundary to where you can carry out the training. But when we look at the ATPs where they are registered, it depends on their headquarters. So they are registered in Jordan, and then they will do business globally.
Thank you so much.
The fees are different, though. Yes, the fees are different. So when an ATP registers in Jordan, they will have a different fee than when they register in the UAE. They will have a different fee than when they register in the US, for example. In Jordan, I showed in the slide, one of the slides, the basic is 2,699. The premier is 3,799.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Welcome.
If you please just, I'm gonna turn off my mic, but if you can text us the slide, which yeah, sure.
Yes,
but I mean,
will
if
also,
you can reshare the 7 ATPs in Jordan, we'll be thankful.
Yeah.
ننزلهم نحن بوست على صفحة البي ام اي جوردن
مو مشكلة، هدول بنعملهم نحن بوستينج. بس إذا سيما بدك تحطي يور ايميل عشان إذا حدا بحب يتواصل معاكي. وتفضلي ديما تفضلي ست ديما.
ناصر.
ديما بركات هي رفعت ونزل الرفع ونزل.
ناخذ ديما بركات هلا. تفضلي ديما.
Good evening. Thank you for your information, and it's very valuable. Actually, I have an issue. I became an ATP with one of those companies a few years back. Probably the first. It was when PMI first initiated the program. And I paid for the fees. I'm not going to say the name of the company. And I attended the exam, and I did the whole process with them. They provided for their company's information, as you said, the financial statement, etc. Okay, and right now, they are selling the courses, and of course, it's their right with other instructors, with other, and they work with me as well. So they have a pool of instructors, but the one who got the ATP for them was me. Okay, so right now when I'm having my courses, when I need to have like to run a workshop or a full PMP program, I can't claim that I am an ATP. Maybe an ATP between brackets instructor, but not a firm, because as you said, it's a B2B concept. So I think this is some sort of, I don't know if it's a weak point, or maybe I don't know. Is there a certain solution? Because I've been training people on PMP since 2003. Okay, it's over 20 years now, and I can't say I have the ATP as a business. I re-established my business 2 years back only, not 3.
Okay. Yes, I get your, yes, it's a B2B model. So the ATP application and the ATP network, they have to be organizations. So when we do business with them and we have the financial also relationship with them, it has to be B2B. And like you said, they could have multiple trainers, and we don't really get involved with the relationship or the sort of the agreement that they have with different instructors. It is depending on how you negotiate that agreement with the ATP. So
yeah, but why don't you have, you know, instructors who are certified in a certain way, and you have these companies at the same time? Because
so we have different kinds of companies.
But one second, please.
Because
the other trainers that they are cooperating with, they're good, probably better than myself, no problem. But I'm the one who sat for the exam, and I'm the one who should use the logo of ATP. Okay, while those, you know, they just built their whatever, because you have the material from PMI, as you know.
Yes.
Because if it wasn't for me, they wouldn't have become an ATP. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So they got the fruit, and I did the work.
Right.
So this is an issue actually, and possibly a point to be discussed with the PMI.
Yeah, and we can take that offline, and you can tell me about the company that you're establishing right now and how far you've come. And we could also work together to get you in the program, if not this year, then as soon as possible, next year.
Excellent. Excellent.
So you can have that to yourself, and you can have the B2B structure as well.
Thank you. So is it okay? I'm really you're amazing actually, صراحة يعني I'm overwhelmed.
No, I feel your passion. I feel it.
Yeah, because I've been doing this for over 20 years, and before the ATP program, another company became a rep, if you remember, because
Yes,
also of my work.
Yeah.
And at that time, the instructor used to prepare the material, not purchase it from PMI.
Right.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that I am on the newsletter for ATPs. So with all respect, this is amazing, but I don't know if you don't mind, if I can get your number or contact.
Yes, of course. Email me and we start talking.
She put her email on the chat.
Excellent. Thank you.
It's in the chat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So now we will take Nasser. Nasser, please.
شكرا غادة. سيما يعطيك العافية.
الله يعافيك، يعطيكم العافية.
أحكي بالعربي. عندي بس أسئلة سريعة. السؤال الأول، شكرا إنك بعتي أو you present الشركات أو ال ATP السبعة اللي شغالين بالأردن. ولكن أنا بس كإند يوزر عمالي عادة بنروح على أماكن تانية غير موجودين مذكورين بالويب سايت تبعت ال PMI. وصراحة ما بنعرف يعني احنا فكرنا أول شيء إن الصفحة not refreshed و not up to date، بس صراحة يعني في المعهد one of الكومبانيز هي يعني حكومية، وبعرف إنه هي recently added مع ال PMI، فعرفت إنه الصفحة محدثة. ولكن في مؤسسات تانية وorganization تانية بالأردن بعطوا يعني دورات في PMP وauthorized، والناس تروح تمتحن وبتنجح. فأول هذا السؤال الأول، ليش الشركات الثانية مش مذكورة يعني بالسبع شركات المذكورة عندكم بالويب سايت تبعت البي ام اي؟ السؤال الثاني، ليش ما بتعملوا رانكينج؟ يعني أنا كإند يوزر نفترض إنه أنا زائر على الأردن، أوكي، أنا يعني مش مقيم وبدي أخذ بي ام بي و I need to shop between those companies. فليش ما في رانكينج؟ يعني مثلا في البي ام بي الشركة الإكس الأفضل وحدة، however بالاي سي بي الشركة الزد أفضل شيء. فيعني بيز على ريفيو، بيز على شيء، إنه at the end يعني إحنا زي فليب كوين. انت وحظك، ادخل وشوف والله انا دفعت هاي الفلوس بعدين I'm not satisfied I have to move to another ATP. والسؤال الاخير، لو انا وافيت كل المتطلبات اللي ذكرتيها from technical و commercial requirements perspectives، انا حكينا بالعربي ايش لو بقدر افتح ATP في العراق وسوريا؟ وشكرا.
Okay, so I'll answer the questions one by one. أول إشي, why only the 7 and the others are not there? So the others, it could be one of two things. It could be إنه هم ATP, بس ATP headquartered in another country. For example, they could be headquartered in Egypt and doing business in Jordan. They could be headquartered in Saudi.
Can I
and
give
doing
an
business.
example just
Yes, of
to
course.
support you? One of the ones that are headquartered in Egypt is Ahmed East.
Yes.
And it's also an examining body here in Jordan.
Yes. Correct.
بس نفس الوقت في عندي نقابة المهندسين الأردنيين.
They are on the list. They are
They're
there.
registered.
They were on my slide, the Jordan Association of Engineers.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, there's Jordan Association of Engineers, there's Institute of Public Administration, and we have the other 5 as well.
I shared the link for anybody that wants. That's for the ATPPMI.org. The provider is Country Jordan, so you can see it from there also.
So either they are an ATP and they're registered in another country, but doing business in Jordan, which is of course allowed, and or they are not an ATP and they're still doing training courses, but they're not authorized by PMI, so they don't have access to our content, and they don't have access, and they are not basically endorsed by PMI to do these trainings. The next one is ranking. This is definitely on our radar. And we used to have something that gives star rating based on student surveys, but right now it's not, it was not like ideal. And we want to figure out how to do this, but definitely this is something we're thinking about, and it's on our radar. And the last one is Iraq and Syria. Yes, Iraq. Syria, I think, no. And Iraq, yes, we already have partners, their ATPs, they're registered from Iraq.
Yeah. ناخد عمر. تفضل عمر. Thank you, Sima. عمر تفضل.
سوري. ثانك يو سيما، يعطيكم العافية. يمكن أنا أول شيء بدي أعتذر إذا في سؤال راح أعيده، بس لأنه فصل عندي النتورك في بداية الكويشن والأنسرز سيشن، معلش إذا سألت السؤال معاد. هلا أول شيء ذكرتي ولما جينا نقدم على الابلكيشن كان في requirement 3 years of experience in the training. So the training it must be within the خلينا نحكي any of the PMI certifications ولا أي training مثلا soft skills، لأنه الشركة اللي I'm willing to go through the application with is they are providing digital marketing و soft skills والأمور اللي زي هيك، so هم بعيدين عن البي ام اي. فهل بيزبط أو ما بيزبط؟ ماشي، تستحمليني بأسئلتي أو تحبي ترد عليهم واحد واحد؟ It's up to you.
Yeah, so I can answer that one. So yes, لازم, there's the item B is the proof that you've been doing training for minimum of 3 years. يعني the document you submit لازم تكون more than 3 years old and has to show the training in the name of the company also that you are applying for. It does not have to be PMI. Preferably, it could be project management, but it can be related, say risk management. I've seen organizational management. There has to be something close to project management. إذا حطيت training issue like very far, then it's not going to work.
So نضلنا في نفس السكوب تقريبا.
يعني لازم يكون نفس السكوب.
Okay. My second question, please, is I'm certified. In order علشان أقدر إني أعطي through this organization, I have to go through the process. So كيف راح أقدر إني أعطي يعني كيف how I'm going to attract مثلا students or people who they will be registering with an authentic training center أو خلينا نحكي جهة زي الشركة اللي أنا بدي أكون معها, and I'm not getting the certification because the training بعيد عن السكوب هذا. فهلا أنا I'm certified, ليش ما بقدر إني أعطي directly through هاي organization أو هذا الcenter؟
So this organization is going to become an ATP. يعني هم عم بيعملوا الapplication to become ATP.
Yes.
Okay, so they're going to go through the process. So they're going to apply, they're going to add their documents, and they're going to become ATP. The moment they're an ATP, they will add you into the instructor as an instructor on their profile.
بعدين هاي هي الإشكالية إنه هم زي ما قلت لك يعني السؤال الأول كان إنه هم بعاد كتير عن هذا السكوب. they are going to penetrate this field. وهي بصراحة شركة لأخوي, فهي تدريب واستشارات. وبشتغل بالمجال الفارماتيكال وال
اوكي
بعيد عن
so ما عندهم experience بس انت جاي to join them وانت عندك experience.
Yes.
اوكي خلاص اكتب لي email and we'll take it offline and see what we can do.
Okay, perfect. Thank you Sima very much. Thank you. يعطيك العافية.
Thank you. ناخذ آخر سؤال من بشار تفضل.
مرحبا يعطيكم العافية. بدي أسأل شغلتين إذا في مجال. الشغلة الأولى إنه الفيز بتندفع مرة واحدة إذا وان تايم فيه ولا annually. هل في شركات مثلا أو مراكز تدريب بنسحب منهم الترخيص؟ وهذا بيعتمد على السؤال الأول إذا هو لازم يتجدد annually. الشغلة الثانية لما مجرد ما صار المركز ATP هل لازم إنه يلتزم بالماتيريالز تبعت PMI ولا بيقدر إنه يطور الماتيريالز الخاصة فيه؟
Great question. أول شيء subscription هو annually, so it's an annual subscription. لازم يتجدد كل سنة. And tiny question is about the specialty courses. So إذا عم بيعملوا specialty courses اللي هم PMP, CAPM, PMICP, ACP هدول they have to get الماتيريال من PMI. بس أكيد we want you to also we want the instructors based on their experience to add to the courses اللي هم case study, supplementary material based out of their own experience وكمان مين audience, مين learners اللي بالclassroom. We also see instructors supplementing with the language. عشان most of this material is in English and sometimes instruction مطلوب بالعربي, so they will have the material in English, but when they do the instruction they will teach it in Arabic and have supplementary information as well in Arabic.
Okay, thank you. ناخذ نزيه تفضل. تمام هيك بشار أو لسه عندك أسئلة؟
تمام thank you.
أهلا.
مرحبا يعطيكم العافية. السؤال بالنسبة للأشخاص الترينر اللي بيكونوا كاتبين عن نفسهم ATPs. هم الآن كشخص مش ATPs هو ترينر ممكن يكون تابع لمركز، لكن الآن بعض الأشخاص بسألني كيف بدي أعرف إنه الشخص هذا هل هو ريجسترد أو لا، لأنه كثير ممكن ناس بيكتبوا ATPs. كيف ممكن يعني الستودنت يتأكد؟ شكرا.
The student has to go through المركز, so they have to go through the authorized training provider as the company. So we have rules, of course. They're not allowed to just use their ATP badge for any course. They have to only use the ATP badge when they are marketing the course that is provided by the ATP. So let's say you're an ATP instructor and you are advertising for a course that you are going to deliver. When you are using the badge, you have to use it when you are advertising with that company. So delivered by the ATP and I'm the instructor and this is my instructor badge, then it is okay. But if they're using the instructor badge outside of this context, it's not allowed.
اوكي شكرا.
في كان سؤال على الشات انه ال $500 بتندفع ييرلي ولا مره واحده؟
ال $500 مره واحده للانستراكتور. لكل instructor that is added to do the train the trainer, it's $500. هذا بندفع by the ATP, not by the instructor.
في حدا سائل إنه كان I be a freelancer ATP without joining ATP training center?
No, it's a B2B model. So to be aligned to the program, you have to be aligned to one of the organizations that's in the program.
And my question is, do you have to take the TOT every time you take a course, or it's just one time?
Great question. So there's the one time the train the trainer, which you take to become the instructor for your first course. and then you have to take the second day. So it's a 2-day course, and then you have to take the second day, which is the instructional course for that particular specialty area for the next course. For example, I'm becoming a PMP instructor for the first time. I'll take the full Train the Trainer. Then I want to become also an instructor for ACP. Then I'll just take the second day. This, of course, will not be the full $500. It'll be $100 just to take the additional Train the Trainer to become the ACP, and then the additional one to become CAPM, for example.
And this is paid by the ATP, right?
This is by the ATP. The instructor is not supposed to, they may then, of course, trickle down and ask the instructor to pay it, but from PMI perspective, this is invoiced to the ATP as an organization. Any other instructors that they add are their responsibility.
Thank you very much. I think it's been a very, very informative session for everybody. And thank you for, it's been a pleasure to have you with us in Jordan. In an online kind of sense.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure having you on behalf of the board. I just noticed that my colleague Amal is now online with us also from the board. So we have a full board with us today. It's a pleasure having you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Munder Ghada, for hosting us, and hosting Sima for this beautiful session. Thank you everybody for your attendance.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
شكرا كثير يا سيما، يعني أبدعتي.
Thank you سيما. Thank you غادة
جدا
ومنذر.
مفيدة.
يعطيكم ألف عافية.
الله يعافيكم جميعا.
شكرا.
السنة الجاي بنشوفكم برمضان إن شاء الله.
إن شاء الله.
يعطيكم العافية.
يعطيكم العافية. باي.
هلا.
مع السلامة.
يعافيكم. هلا. شكرا يا سيما.
we'll close the session. ديالا يلا يعطيكم العافية.